Once there was a king who had many wives but no children. For 18 years he prayed morning and evening, asking the gods to bless him with a child. Finally, goddess Savitri, the daughter of the sun, answered his prayers and gave him a daughter. This daughter came from his favorite wife, and the king named her Savitri after the goddess. Savitri grew up to be so beautiful and graceful that people thought she was a goddess. When the time came for her to marry, no man dared to ask for her hand, thinking they were not worthy. Seeing this, her father told her to travel and find a man she thought was right for her. He promised to arrange the marriage if she chose someone. Savitri set out with her servants and advisers, traveling from place to place. One day they came near a river where many people had left the cities to live a simple life of prayer and study. Savitri visited an elder teacher in the area and bowed respectfully to him. While they were talking, a young man entered the hall, guiding an old blind man. This young man was Prince Satyavan, whose name meant Son of Truth. Savitri returned home and told her father that she had chosen Satyavan as her husband. At that moment, the holy seer Narada was visiting the king. When Narada heard Savitri's choice, he warned her that Satyavan was destined to die 1 year from that. The king asked Savitri to choose another husband, but she refused. She said that she loved Satyavan and would not marry anyone else, no matter how short or long his life might be. The king gave in and went with Savitri to arrange the marriage. Before the wedding, Satyavan asked if Savitri could handle a hard life in the forest, wearing simple robes and living on fruits and plants. Savitri replied that she did not care about comfort and was ready to share any life with him, whether in a palace or a hermitage. They married and lived happily together for a year. As the year passed, Savitri never forgot Narada's prediction about Satyavan's death. When only 3 days remained, she began a strict prayer and fast. She stayed in the hall of worship without eating or sleeping. Satyavan asked her why she was fasting, but she did not explain. On the day Satyavan was destined to die, he went into the forest to chop wood, carrying his axe. Savitri insisted on going with him. Together they walked over hills, and when they reached a fallen tree, Satyavan began chopping firewood. Suddenly he dropped his axe and held his head, saying it hurt terribly. Savitri helped him sit under the shade of a tree. Satyavan said his body felt like it was burning, then closed his eyes and stopped breathing. Savitri looked up and saw a figure whose skin was darker than night and whose eyes and robe were red. She asked who he was, and the figure gently replied that he was Yama, the god of death. He told her it was time to take Satyavan's spirit to his kingdom, where happiness awaited him. As Yama carried Satyavan's spirit away, Savitri followed him, struggling to keep up. Yama turned to her and said she could not follow him to the land of the dead. Savitri replied that while Yama's duty was to take her husband, her duty as a wife was to stay by Satyavan's side no matter what. Yama admired her loyalty and told her he would grant her a favor, anything except Satyavan's life. Savitri asked him to restore her blind father in law's kingdom and his sight. Impressed by her selflessness, Yama granted her wish. He then told Savitri he was so moved by her devotion that he would also return Satyavan's life. Satyavan woke up and the couple returned home, grateful for their love and the blessings they had received.